One live.
Happy Sunday. Hope you all had a beautiful day. And if you went to church, I really hope you got the message today. I got the message. Our message today was um, gathering up the pieces, the fragment of the pieces, gathering them up. And the message was really good. It hit home with me. I loved it. So, Stephanie and I, the host and mostess and the author writer, we're going to be discussing about the topic may be touchy to some of y'all, but hey, that's what we're doing here. It's called Sassy Tea for a reason. The brat of the bunch. The unspoken truth of spoiled, rotten, unappreciated children. So, with that being said, Stephanie and I have been doing a lot of talking in regards to the things that we talk about and what we look up. And we do a little bit of research on a lot of that stuff. And I'm telling you, some of this research is shocking because a lot of us don't even realize that we are enabling the one that we call the brat of the bunch, the golden child, the I don't know, the special
Yeah.
chosen one. So we do that inadvertently, not knowing that that's what we're doing. So today, if you out there, chime in with us. The check the link, our chat line for the link to join in on our show. We would love to have you. But so Stephanie, give me a little bit of what you know about the brat of the bunch.
Wow. Not just my experience, but I seen other
In
mothers,
general, yeah.
spoil their kids and of that nature. But I think from what I know and what I experienced, that sometimes we spoil our children because we be trying to make up for the missing parent. I think
Oh
that
wow.
yeah, from for the missing
Okay.
parent. And sometimes it could be out of guilt or something like that, just out of guilt because we feel like we need to be there even extra. So when you use that term extra, so
Doing a
now
little
we're going to
extra.
be doing
Yeah.
extra things to kind of make up, you know like instead of buying one pair of jeans, we buy three pair, knowing that one was okay for now.
Ah,
And then another thing
okay.
too is not having our kids work for, like, do the dishes. If you do the dishes,
Oh,
I give
that's
you,
a good one.
you work for it. That's gone out the window for a lot of us too. Um
House chores in general for children is gone. I don't hardly hear any kids talk about I did my house chores today and I earned the money. So you're right. We really need to get back. That's been taken away
Absolutely.
from. How do we lose that? How do we lose that momentum?
I think the newer generation, I think it's a generational thing because I have two children, women now. One is 39 and the other one is 20. So that's two generations. My oldest is not as much spoiled as my youngest, but I think it's a generational thing.
Okay,
Yeah, because my oldest child, she was more independent. She wanted to work and dive into things of buying her own stuff, and she was mature very early in age. Whereas, and then a lot of it come in as how old we are having children. Because when I had my baby girl, I was
ah,
40. I was
girl,
40
I
years
got in and
old.
got out real. I got in and got out real quick.
Real quick. And I
I
didn't.
was done
I started
real
all the
quick.
way
Two,
over.
two done.
Yes. I started all the way over. My oldest was on the way to
How many
college.
children?
Two. Just
How
them
many
two.
children you have? Oh, two. Okay,
Two.
two. All right,
Just
I'm
them
two
two.
done.
And they're about almost 20 years apart. But and that was two different. She was on her way to college, and I was raising this baby girl. So by me being older, I was more tired. I didn't have the energy of the discipline as I had with my oldest. And the
I
baby
got you.
girl got away with more than my oldest. but my oldest father was in her life more than the youngest baby girl. So that made
Okay.
me, even not only with the age that I was at for the missing parent. So it was
Okay.
a double whammy for her. So she is truly a golden child.
Oh wow. So for
Yep.
me, I find that I kind of did that a little bit with my son. A lot of people say,
Okay.
"Oh, you spoil, you're spoiling them too much. You're doing this." And when I realized that some of the things I was doing, I really didn't need to because he didn't really show a lot of I'm appreciative of my mom doing that in the earlier years of his life. He has now since, but it took some hard knocks to learn that. But
Absolutely.
I find myself more accepted to going above and beyond for my grandbabies. And I really don't want to make that same mistake that I did,
Oh
you
man.
know, with my baby boy, with my grandchildren, because I got five, and of the five, I love them my own special way, and I have a favorite for different
I
reasons.
was
You
I
know,
was gonna ask you, did you have a favorite?
I have a favorite for different reasons. Each of them have a different reason to favorite, right? And
Uh-huh.
I try to express that same love to them all. Like, I love you so much, and I tell them why, and I try to show them why. And I'm hoping that
Right.
they receive it because they do give me good feedback. My
Okay, good.
my firstborn grandson, he's such a sweetheart. When I me and him talk, he get emotional. I get emotional. So I love the
Oh,
conversation with him. My oldest granddaughter, she is very business mind frame. So I love talking to her when it comes to stuff about business.
oh wow.
And then my second granddaughter, to me, she has so much potential to do a lot of things. She has so much energy. It reminds me of me being a kid with
Okay.
energy. And then my grandson, he's just all into the computers, the high tech stuff. He loves and all these different things. I love his creative mind. And then my
Okay.
youngest granddaughter, oh, she's the toughest. She remind me being a tough one. She's tough. She
Okay.
don't take no junk from nobody. That's the
Yep,
one.
that's your mini me.
I call her number five.
Okay.
Because when everything something happened bad, they be like number five. When they get to number
I
five,
know, right?
go down. Yeah, that's my number
Right.
five.
That's
Yeah. So how many
crazy.
grandchildren you have?
I only have one.
You just got one, right?
And yep, and
Okay.
she's spoiled rotten because, and her father is in her life. She's gonna be a daddy girl, and her mama's in her life, but I still spoil her. I mean, it's nothing that child. She gonna probably have a car before she 10.
Oh,
I mean,
I did that with my daughter too.
yeah, but
I had license. She had a car.
she's the only one. But
Okay.
sometimes and I think it depends on the child too, on why we spoil them. Like my youngest daughter, she don't take no for an answer. Cause some kind of
Hmm.
way she gonna get it. I mean, she's gonna cry, she gonna have a fit, she gonna get mad, and then it gets to the point where I don't even want to argue. Forget it. Go on and get it. And then
So she know what to do to get it.
yeah, you have those tough minded um children, and then you got that, please mama, please, and then how can you say no? So
And then they
it's
had the little
hard for
sad
us.
eyes.
And then if you don't
Oh,
set boundaries with your children in the beginning, it's hard to later on in life to get those boundaries
yep.
because
And
the
and that's
boundaries wasn't set.
right. And I think that we talk a lot about boundaries in our settings because we get away from that. We forget that those are important factors for us to succeed in life and to build a good foundation with somebody. You got to have a boundary. You know,
Absolutely. Yep.
I just believe in that, and I think that the brat of the bunch can easily slip through the cracks when we do exactly what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Overdo. We
Overdue.
overdo this, overdo that. Buy them extra pair of pants when they only needed one. Buy them extra pair of shoes because they didn't want to wear those, so they didn't want the more expensive ones. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
We gotta set some
Yeah.
boundaries out here.
And
Yeah.
you definitely have to set those boundaries. And then you have parents that just because they have money,
Mm,
just
mm.
because they have the income to support their over neediness, to support their wants more so than their children needs, because they have the income to get it. Because that was me too, later on
Right.
in life. My baby girl, I had more, even though I had more then, but it became greater later. And I was able to, she didn't have about 7 cars. The
Oh
oldest
wow.
only had 2. She didn't have 7 cars, literally. So
Whoa.
where do we set the blame at? We have to take
Parent.
accountability of these brats. But my mother always said one thing. She said, it's always one out the bunch. I don't, if it's 2 out of them 2, it's gonna be that one out the bunch that's gonna be more spoiled, get away with more, that's just gonna be that brat.
Hmm.
Or you don't have that one that give you more problems. It's always one out the bunch that give you more headache, that cost you more, and all of that.
Hmm.
Because when I
Well,
got
we just
pregnant
had
with
a
my youngest daughter, my mother said one thing for sure: this baby here is not going to be like that first one. And when I
they
tell
never
you, she
are.
was 1,000% correct,
They never
not
are
a
the same.
hundred.
A
She was a
thousand.
thousand percent correct.
Well,
And
big energy
they're
just
like
said,
night and
"Hey,
day.
hey, big
Huh?
energy." Big energy just said, "Hey." She just
Oh,
made me think
okay.
of something. She just made me think of something. So
Oh, okay.
you can't call the brat of the bunch when they're the only child. So do they become actually the golden child, or I mean, because
If you don't
I
set boundaries,
I don't I'm not an only child. Sometimes I wish I was, but then I was like, no, I want some brothers and sisters, and I have them. And unfortunately, you all know recently I just lost my sister, but I lost 2 other sisters and a brother prior to all of that. But
oh wow.
as being an adult, and we have children, or we know that these there are certain families that only has one child. Like you
Hmm.
got one grandbaby. You just said yourself,
Hmm.
you're gonna spoil. You already spoiling
Yep.
her, right?
I'm already
You
doing
already
it.
gonna know as she get older what she gonna want.
Everything.
Everything she sees fit, because your
And
boundary
she
ain't
gets
set
it.
yet, basically.
I have it. And
But
how
ain't
do
nothing
I
wrong
do
with
that?
that.
Right. But
Well,
I
I would
do
say
know,
you've already started it. You can't just backtrack on the baby in the middle of doing. How old is she?
well, if I don't catch it now, it's gonna be too late.
True. Hmm.
But my question is, if it's anybody out there that could tell me, or anyone that need to be told, how to set those boundaries when you're capable.
Mm, that's a good question. So if y'all out there and y'all listening, please, we love for you. It should be a link on our chat line where you can join us and be right on the screen. If you don't want to be on screen, we can just hear your voice, but you can chime in with us so we can hear what you got to say. We're coming
Mhm.
to you today from Out of the Mud Inc. This beautiful Sunday. Isn't it gorgeous
It's
outside? It's a nice,
beautiful
grateful
out
day
there.
today, just so you all know. And this is the day the Lord has made. So,
Yes.
hey, if you up and you breathing, you ought to be happy. You ought to be happy
Yes.
and
Yeah.
praise something. Because how I feel right now, I feel overjoyed today. When I'm
Oh,
done with this
beautiful.
today, I got more exciting things I want to talk about and do. So, but I wanted us to discuss this about the untold truth about how we spoil children, or what about you spoil your spouse and they don't ever pour back in you or spoil you? What about that? It may not
Oh,
always be the unappreciative children. It could be the unappreciative spouse.
yeah, that's
I'm just
true.
saying.
And believe you me, the unappreciative aspect of it come in because they're spoiled. Because they haven't earned it. So that goes back to making them do the dishes or cleaning up the living room, cleaning up your
Hmm.
room. I'll give you
Hmm.
that new coat. I'll get you that pair of Nike shoes or Jordan shoes. And But then we do it, and because they not earning it, if we don't set those boundaries as far as that, then that makes them even more unappreciative, because just like they say, you buy your child a car, they're not going to take care of that car until they buy their own car. When they got to come out
Correct.
their own pocket and they have to buy their own things, that's when they become appreciative of stuff. But as
Yes.
long as we are doing it for them, they don't appreciate anything. And they take it for granted because mama or daddy is going to do it. They're going to step up to the plate and do it because we haven't set boundaries and make them earn things to do it.
Mm-hmm. For
And that's
me,
just that's just facts.
I don't know anything about being spoiled. I've always had to grind and work and earn my keep. I learned that from my grandfather and my grandmother because my mother passed away when I was 16. I just
Oh,
freshly had
well.
an 8-month-old baby. So I didn't
Mm,
have the opportunity to even be considered the golden child or be
okay.
considered the brat. I just was a go-getter. I was a go-getter. I always tried to do my own thing. I never wanted to copy anybody else. I wanted to be original. I wanted to speak from my heart. I wanted to do what Terralisa wanted to do. And sometimes that got me in trouble because I speak my mind. I speak my
Right.
mind and I've never been afraid to voice my opinion. And
Right.
sometimes me being opinionated got me in trouble because I was always told, why are you speaking like that? Why are you talking like that? Why do you think these things? I'm like, because I got a voice, you know.
Exactly.
But
So
I
let
wasn't.
me let me ask,
I've never been unappreciative to nobody or nothing though. Never. I always appreciate everything.
you a
So
question. So you have a big um village. So at any point in time, did you have to help raise your any one of your siblings where you had to provide for them, or was it one of your siblings that had to provide and for you all, or is it any one of your siblings that spoiled you
no,
in some type of way? It might not
nope,
have been big things.
no.
It could have been the smallest thing. Or were you the one helping with that?
I'm not gonna say my sister that just recently passed. I would say in a sense she spoiled me because when I was a little
Yeah,
girl, she used to always dress me up in little pretty clothes. She all the same thing she was doing for her daughter and her granddaughter. She and her granddaughters. She be buying me the
she
little
did for
ruffle little
you.
socks and she want to make sure I'm girlied up and everything. And I was such a tomboy. And I'd be like, I don't want to wear this, but if you're going to wear this, she comb my hair. So she would always do extra special things for me. And as I got
Yep,
older, she'd be like, I got something for you. She'd buy me a shirt or cook some
yep,
dinner and I'll go eat. Always was something.
yep,
So I guess you're right. In that sense, she did. But for
yeah.
me, we have different mothers, but we have the same father. But for me in my
Okay.
household, when my mother passed away, my two brothers lived. I took care of my two brothers. I raised them. And I didn't have a brat of the bunch between them. Well, wait a minute. Let me say that. Jock, little baby bruh, he would probably be the
Oh,
brat of the bunch because we've always catered to him. We always made sure he had what he needed. We would never let him
mhm.
go without. And now in his uh, stages of life where he's at now in his 30s, no, 40s, in his 40s, he has now starting to be more independent of his own self because he
Oh,
don't have
wow.
us to fall back on like that. And sometimes
Okay.
unfortunately that's what happens. You spoil the child for so long, they forget how to stand up on them, do right. That sometimes take a village
Absolutely.
or other people
Yep.
around them to help because you can,
Yep.
because I didn't have the strength to do it. Like with my son, I didn't have the strength on my own. God rest my cousin
Right.
soul. DT would stay on me all the time about what I was doing with my son. He was like, "Let that boy be a boy. Don't do this. Don't do that. Let his daddy do it." This,
Absolutely.
you know. So
Yep.
I had to realize that I was doing more harm than good
The good.
by harboring him. Is that the word I want to use? Coddling him.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now he knows that I'm not going there anymore. I'm getting
Right.
too
And I
old for all
think
that extra.
and I think with boys, when moms spoil boys, I think, and this is only my personal opinion. I don't know,
That's
but
okay.
from what I see, when we out here dealing with in relationships and trying to find a mate, and we trying to find a guy, and then we run across these um men that what they call them, mama boys. They that's not good, because them being mama boys, I don't think that they're ready, or they might be ready, but they always look up to mom, or they looking up for a mother figure, or someone like their mother to
I agree.
fill that void when they get away from home. So now they looking for it more so like a mother figure, or if you get into it, the first thing they do is run to mama, and tell mama about everything. And I have experienced that before. You know,
Hmm.
a mama's son. Because how can a woman deal with that in a relationship when they're always running to their mom or
Hmm.
asking their mother
Hmm.
for advice, when low key she might not even like you, you know
Exactly.
and then instead of handling your issues within that household,
Amen.
within the two of you guys, that mama's boy go always go back to mama. And I think
Hmm.
that, and it raises, I want to say respectfully, I just think not strong men, because they need to know how to handle life and be a
I said
leader,
the
to be a leader, to be the head of the
message.
household.
Amen.
And when they depended on mama, how can they go out there and be head of their household?
True
You
that.
know,
True that.
because now
That
they
that's
looking for
that's a
the
good
for the
stance.
woman. Yeah, they looking for the woman, depending on her little money or whatever, because I'm used to my mama paying my cell phone bill, or I'm used to my mama paying my car note, you know, or something like that.
Hmm.
So
And then in the same,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
babe. Oh, I was just saying, and in the same sense, um, just listening to you say all that, I can see why a lot of people felt that I was coddling my son with a lot of things, because everything you just said is pretty much what he's going through. But hey, I'm only human. I live, I learn, I'm trying to do better. The more and more that I understand me and love me more, then I can be able to help and assist other people. So when it's a daughter, in a sense, you know, if a daughter is a daddy's girl, will she grow up to depend on men to always want to do something special for her, or go out of their way for her and become independent on, I don't want to be with you, you can't do this for me type of stuff, you know?
And
I've
yeah,
seen women like that as well.
yeah.
I'm thankful that my daughter didn't grow up that way. She was a daddy's girl, but she lost her dad at an early age as well. But
hmm
nevertheless, I was married. I ended up getting married, and she been around in his life, and she still calls him pop, whatever. But she has never, she's more resilient like me. She didn't
hmm
need clarification from somebody, a man or another woman, to tell her, you're doing a great job. You need to
hmm
do this. You know, she's
hmm
very headstrong and does things, and I'm very proud of her for that. But also, I had to think about what you just said, you know, because she's married and they have 3 children, but they
hmm
do the same for all 3 of their children. Nobody's getting any better. I'm gonna have to ask her who's the brat of the bunch for her. I'm
Exactly.
gonna have to ask her that. That's a good question. If you're listening, girl,
Who is the
text me
bride
and
of the
let me know which
brunch?
one of your kids is the bunch so I can be paying attention. Because it's something that I don't read. I didn't coming up raising my daughter and my son. I only got 2 kids. You know,
Because
there's no
sometimes
on
we
life. There's well, it is. It's called
there,
the Bible.
there-
But
absolutely,
there's no
there's
handbook on
no
raising the children.
handbook.
But then again, there's the Bible. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not really a
absolutely.
handbook, but
It's a
it's
guide.
it basic instructions before leaving this earth. And if anybody is savvy enough to know that we ain't out in this universe by ourselves, so
Absolutely.
every day we have to better ourselves, be our higher self every day. Because if you're spoiled or you're spoiling somebody, you better be ready to reap the repercussions because it's coming.
Absolutely. And you mentioned, what about the girl? Well, this is from what I get, the difference is, like my mom told me, my mom was harder on me than she was my brother, because
Okay.
she always told me she never wanted me to depend on a man. She wanted me to
True
always be
that.
strong enough to handle my own and be able
Mm-hmm.
to fly and clip the wings and for me to fly. Even though my brother was spoiled, but he wasn't as spoiled as I was. But she
Okay.
told me the reason why. She said, because as a man, she said, a man can always find a significant other or a woman, you know, to lean on, or to because the pickings is greater with men. I mean, with women than it is with men.
Women.
And she was right. My brother went and got married and flew the coop. But for me, I got married but divorced, but I had to stand my own, because I could, it wasn't that easy for me just to hop into another relationship, or to, and if I didn't have those skills that my mom taught me, even though she
Mm-hmm.
spoiled me, ain't no telling where I would be. So I think spoiling a daughter, if a man spoils a daughter, this is the thing. If he show her the right way and be that man figure in her life, and be to show her the good and the positive, then her expectation will be great on what she's looking for as a good man, a
Do
good
you
partner.
believe? Right. Do you believe that the saying goes, um, every boy tries to find a woman that reminds him of his mother, like he looks for his mother, and every girl finds a man that is represent like her dad. So
Absolutely.
if your mom and your dad are in your life and still with you, and they taught you these values of life as you grow up in the household, why is it that there's a separation or this gap when it's with these new younger generation family members, children, I should say, that growed up and have babies, that they don't even implement that into the lives of their own children? Like you said, they'll go out, they make out the money and buy their kids everything, but never show them love in time. My pastor said something today, that reason I brought that part. He said, we as parents, how can you curse your child out in the morning before they go to school and expect them to go to school and have a great day? Because inside their mind, all they hear is what you just last said to them. Or when they cut up and act out in the world and what they're doing, how is it that we can't find ourselves responsible for the infliction that we're putting on these children? Because they're like SpongeBob's, right? So
Absolutely.
when we're doing that, that's something that we need to work on as adults, to train our brain, train our ways to stop doing it to these kids, because I'm one guilty of it as well. I've been down that
Well,
road before, but I
well,
try my best to always tell them have a good day at school, be the best student in class, always something, a good positive affirmation to them to get them going. Because you're
okay.
right. I mean, he was right. It messed people's day up.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have to go take that to school with them. But then you got to think about it. What is the parents going through?
True
Are they in a
that.
toxic relationship? Are they going through financial hardship, and they're depressed? They're going through something. They're trying to make ends meet, not knowing how they're gonna pay their rent. They got to send their child off, but then they're crying at home like, "Dang, how can I pay my rent?" There's so much pressure nowadays with the economy and what's going on in the world right now. It's a lot of
Yes,
depression.
yes,
It's a lot of people struggling, unfortunately, that goes on the kids, and the children feel that. No matter how
yes,
we
they
try
do.
to uplift them, but they still feel that energy. They
Yes,
feel
they
that
do.
household energy, what's going on at home. And I think a
Mhm.
lot of people right now are starting to struggle, that's been through the struggle, and that affects, because when I taught school, I was a teacher, a substitute
Oh, I
teacher.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yep. And there was so many children in my classrooms, or in and out of my class, that had issues at home. I mean, it was terrible. So I know that that's a part of the problem of what the parent is going through, and then they not
Mhm.
trying to put it off on that child, but the you that they may not even say nothing. They can feel it.
And
It's like they
that's
can feel
why,
it.
exactly. And that's why we have a lot of well, we had a lot more resources out in the world, but some of them way. Like I was listening to a family talk about how they weren't gonna be able to have Thanksgiving, right? And I'm like,
Mhm.
because of the SNAP program. And I said,
Mhm.
well, if you got food in your refrigerator, whatever you got, that be thankful for that. That's what you have. And then ironically, my pastor spoke on that today. But if you all out there listening, St. Mark is having a food drive, praise God, this Wednesday
Yeah.
at
Okay.
9 o'clock. Please drive up. There's gonna be some food there, y'all. And
Okay.
that's what we like to do. The church that I belong to, community, we stand strong and stand proud. No matter how many times they try to knock us down or whatever they do, our biggest backup is that we keep getting back up, right?
Mhm.
So to
Yeah.
me, as a member or a parent, as a resident of the city of Flint, these are things that the messages that you and I are trying to relay to the public is don't give up.
Mhm.
Because if you got the brat of the bunch in your home, it's time to start teaching them a different way of life so that they understand that going down the line, you can't just get what you want when you want it. And no matter how much
Yeah.
somebody wants to give it to you or you want them to give it to you, you have to earn it. And when you
Mhm.
earning these things, you have to always, always give thanks. Give thanks to the little things that you have.
Mhm.
If you don't have it, be thankful for the you have in front of you. That's what I can really say about that.
Hey,
Like me, I want to say this. I'm thankful that out of the Mud Inc., James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, George F. Grundy II, and Larry Lott, allowing us to mainstream like this and get messages out.
absolutely.
And hopefully, if any of you out there listening, chime in with us. Check the chat line or get on there, text something on there. We want to know what y'all think because I'm sure you might got the brat of the bunch in your house, or are you the brat of the bunch and you don't want to tell us? Is that what it
Ex-
is? You just don't want to tell us.
Absolutely. And let's learn how to create stronger girls and boys to be well, let's learn how to get our girls and boys to be stronger women and men because we need that. Because as I look
Mm-hmm.
back, we had so many strong black leaders, the Malcolm X and all the black strong. We don't have that many now. We don't have those that'll do that the Million Man March and stuff. We haven't had that. We need more stronger men and stronger women, but it starts at home. The strength
Yeah.
comes from home.
We
So
need
we have
unity.
to yep, and we have to start that from home. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to spoil our boys and our girls, but we have to also learn how to make them earn it, appreciate it.
Oh,
And then
yes, ma'am.
yep, earn it and appreciate it. So then they can teach their children responsibilities, worth, all of that. Earn your worth. Be responsible, and be a strong man for your own children that's getting ready to come up. A lot
Yep.
of a lot of women now got their boys at home still at a late age. My brother was at home, he was till late, and I finally had to tell my mom, let go. And after
Mm-hmm.
she let go, he flew. He became that real man.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
until you cut the wings and clip the wings and let them fly, let them make the mistakes
mm-hmm. Yep, and
because
that's
we
what
made ours. You made your
exactly. And
mistakes.
that's what I just had this conversation with my own child, my own son. Because he had a life, he had a home, he had furnished a home, been with all these things. But just like what you said, whatever it got tough for them out there, whatever, it's a soft landing place for him. Now I'm gonna
Yep,
always have an open door space for both of my kids. But it comes
absolutely.
a time when you gotta stand strong and be on your own and do you because I'm living my life. I'm still learning to be a better person for myself. I don't
Absolutely.
want to have to keep trying to raise a child that's want to be how you gonna be a grown man if I gotta do this for you? You're not a grown man if I gotta do this. You gotta do it
You're
yourself.
not a
You gotta
grown
earn yours.
man.
You know,
Yeah,
you got
and
to,
you and you
and that's what we
and
got to do. I want to teach my grandbabies that you got to stand on your own.
hmm
You can't
and
just
that
keep on thinking that life is just gonna be handed to you.
yeah, and
You
it's
know,
hard, and I get it because we worried because another thing is I heard people say that times is not what it used to be. It's dangerous out here, so we rather see our kids and our boys at home and because we know they safe. Because times has changed. There's a lot of shooting, killing,
Mhm.
kidnapping, you know, trafficking going on, and I get that. But
Mhm.
and that's okay, because if they at home, but that's how we build our children. Learn to build them up to get their own place,
Mhm. Mhm.
secure their home, to be safe in a safe neighborhood. We have to teach those
And
type of
that's the
things.
reason why I feel like that.
Hmm.
Oh, it kind of broke up a
I'm
little
here.
bit. Um,
Oh, okay, okay.
can you see Rodney McMurray Bay said, "Good afternoon, ladies. Lions are playing, but I'm watching Out of the Mud. Woo woo woo! Go Lions!" And yes, thank you for watching Out of the Mud. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
Will say
Rodney.
this. I believe that one point in time, as we parents and we're learning about our own children and learning how to incorporate their lives into our lives and still allow them to be grown, we still have to realize that you still got to do it on your own. There's not uh-oh. Okay, sorry about that. I was trying to get to my Out of the Mud on my computer and it pulled up something else, which I don't understand why. But I'm very, very excited that we get the chance to do what we're doing
Absolutely.
right now. It pleases me to station about a message that we need to display and that we're trying our best to make sure that there's several people that have a way to call in and talk to give us their thoughts and their ideas about what's going on in the world because I want to know what other people think. I want to
I
know
do too.
how
I
they
do too,
feel.
because I
I
know
want
for
to
a
know.
fact there are women out there who's dealing with their grown kids, and trying to navigate on trying to get them to be independent, and because
Mhm.
I'm navigating through it. I'm not that one. I'm
Okay.
very transparent. I'm not fake. I'm not phony. None of that. I'm very
Correct.
transparent.
Correct.
And I'm navigating that with my youngest daughter, trying to navigate her on trying to get her out here to be on her own. So I'm
Mhm.
creating, even though it's late, I'm creating boundaries now. It's only so much I'm going to do now.
It's never too
You
late.
know,
It's never too late.
I got that set now, a time limit, like a time frame, and I think those time frames matter. Once a child,
Mhm.
especially when they say I'm grown now. Well, if you grown, like you said earlier, then why are you here? Because if I'm not
Uh,
mistaken, when I got grown, I got married at the age of 20. I was gone because I was grown. I had to leave. Bye. That was it. I went from mama house
well,
to
unfortunately,
college
I got
to
growed up the wrong way. I lost my mom. That's how I had to grow up.
yeah,
I lost my mom. You know,
yeah. But you got to look at it. You can
newborn
look,
baby.
but you know what, Tara Lisa, you can look at that as a bad way, and I can look at it as a good way, because it made you the stronger woman that you are today, because
Okay,
you
I can
had to
accept that.
go through life to strengthen yourself. And when we strengthen
Yeah.
ourselves, we become even stronger people, because you
Mhm.
didn't have nobody. You got that strength from within, not
Yep,
from
that's true.
outside.
That is
So it
so
made you
so true.
the strongest woman that you can possibly be right now. So I look
Yep.
at that as a good thing. It's a bad thing and an unfortunate thing, but
Mhm.
God makes no mistakes.
Amen. Thank you for that. You touched me today
God
with that one.
makes
Thank you.
no
I
mistakes.
really
He knew
appreciate that
why.
because yeah, he
Yeah, he
always
knew
knows,
why he had to do that. It
and
was
that's why
no,
I give him all the praise now,
yeah, because it
all the
could have, your
praise.
life could have, you never know what could have happened. Your life could have been down a whole different road. So
True
God
that.
made no mistakes because he saw different.
Yes,
You
he
know,
did.
God see things
Yeah.
that we don't see.
Wow.
So that's why he moved us for us, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
It
He
does. It
moved
does.
us. Yep.
And I think that's why I wrote a poem called "A Poor Black Woman with a Rich Heart." I'm a poor,
Wow.
but I do have a rich heart. And my heart is pure when it comes to being appreciative of how people do things in life. Like if somebody gave me a penny, I'm excited about that penny. I'm gonna keep it
Exactly.
and it's gonna go to the pot with something else to add to that. That's how I feel. And when people give to me, I give to others. You know,
Yep, me too.
every book that I sell, I give a percentage plus some back to my church.
Yep.
You know what
You
I'm
told
saying?
me that.
Because
Yep.
I'm inspired by the people there. I actually just
Mhm.
finished, well, start writing something on a poem I'm going to read to the church as my poem to them because I am very appreciative to them. Like I
Okay.
I know in my life I could be in a lot of places, just like what you said. But it's certain
Absolutely.
things I don't want to give my poem away. But I got this. But thank
Absolutely.
you, thank you for
And it,
touching me today and
yep,
pouring
and
into
that
me
could
today. I appreciate that.
absolutely. And thank God. I thank God for my misfortunes
Yes,
because
for all your
I
lows.
thank I thank God for all of my mistakes, all of my whatever happened down that bad or horrible road detour I took. It was a reason why I did because that's why I am the person that I am today. I think
Amen.
sometimes I might be too strong for my own good, moving on into
Well,
my relationship. I don't know because I'm a very strong woman.
I am too. I think. Remember, we talked about this, and I said maybe that's why I'm single. One
I
of my
know,
cousins always
right?
called me. Always tell me that I'm too. I scare people because I'm too real. And I said, well, how are you too? How is a person too real?
Oh wow,
I
that's a
I, I don't want to be
conversation.
fake, and I don't want to be anywhere near fake because I'm not a liar. I'm not a cheater, and I'm not a thief. Anybody and everybody that knows me, even when I was put it like this, I am an alcoholic. But I gave up drinking because it was bad from my thoughts, my mentality, and I've been so much better. But it's certain people that still try to hold me to those wicked old ways, right? But was
Hmm.
drinking like that, whether I was drunk, sober,
Hmm.
tired, upset, my attitude never changed on anyone. I've never
Hmm.
disrespected people. I've never tried to steal, take from them, or anything. My heart has always been pure. I've always done the right thing. When I stopped
Hmm.
drinking because of the what God put into me, and when He gave
Absolutely.
me that strength, I started seeing a lot of. I saw my own faults. I didn't need nobody else to tell me anymore. But when God turned
Right.
over my page and gave me a new journey to take, whoo, Stephanie,
Tell it.
all I can say is I am thankful. I'm
I
very
know it.
thankful because my life could have ended a long time ago. And I
See there?
love what I do right now because the gift that He stirred in me and I'm stirred in the world. If I He pray,
Yep.
I pray for me, I pray for you, I pray for a lot of people. I pray every day. Some people be looking like you ain't. I pray every day,
Every day.
all day
Yep.
for everybody,
Yep.
for Flint, Michigan, wherever it is. I said it before. If
Hmm.
I hear gunshots, I say, "Fix it, Jesus." I'm putting it out in the atmosphere because I don't know who it is or what it was, but my heart is good. And maybe because God knows my heart is good, He's not gonna let nobody come in my life and destroy that again.
Oh
Because
yeah,
my
he's
heart,
your protector.
yeah, He is my protector. He is my everything now because I
Yeah.
know now that I can't do nothing without Him, and I will never let another individual break my heart. I'd rather be single and alone than have that happen to me again because it was
Me
wrong.
too.
I gave my all. I did everything.
A-
But I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
that day gonna come, and
And
when that
you
day come,
and
I'm
you
gonna be
and
just
you
as happy as I am now. I'm
I
gonna be
know
just
it.
as happy as
But
I am now.
that's why I say we have to make because I've been on that journey too. And as a matter of fact, I am and I'm in a relationship now. And
Yeah,
I had
good.
to tell him
Yay.
Yeah, this Rodney, that's why
Yeah, I remember you
he
told me last week. Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. But I had to let him know that I'm in a healing journey. So
We
if I
all
and
heal,
I
yes.
and since I'm in this healing journey, you need to know, because my journey have to be, you have to support my journey. And actually, I think we all, as human beings, need to put ourselves in a healing journey because we all have been damaged or
Hurt,
had trauma in our life.
damage, hurt.
And if we don't recognize it, take out um take accountability and know that this is what's going on and attack it the way it needs to be, we can heal. But
Yeah,
without that,
we
you
can't because
can't heal.
hurt people.
And
And
you can't heal. And
if you can heal from within, shout out to my girl Margie Marquita. Every time I think of healing or self healing inside, I hear this song of hers in my head,
Mhm.
and it's her and I speak about because healing
Mhm.
does come from within, and it comes from the Lord. You got to open up and let Him in. You know, you
Yep.
got to be more acceptive to and hold your own self accountable for everything you're doing. You know,
Accountability. Yep.
accountability
And
is
that
everything.
and stop being in denial. So many people are so in
Yeah,
denial and they want to finger point, you know, you this and you this. But what about you? What are you? Something is wrong with everybody. Something
right.
is wrong with me because I didn't been through life. I was
And it's
born
okay not to be okay. It's
and I was
okay not to be
born in
okay.
this wicked world,
Yes.
but that's why we have a God because he knew this world was going to be wicked from the very beginning. So since we are part of it, it's something we all going through something. So the worst
Hmm.
thing that you could be is in denial. Don't be in
Yep.
denial about how you're raising your children, how we're weakening our kids, how we're not there
Hmm.
for our children.
Spoiling
Do
and
something
rotten.
about it. Spoiling them. Do something about it. It's not like you said earlier. It's never too late.
Never too
Learn
late.
how to say no. Praise them on the right things. Boost their give them gratitude, you
Yep.
know,
And
and
bring
give
back
them a,
home
a reason.
chores.
Yes, give them
Yeah,
a
bring
reason
chores.
to
If
jump out there.
your kid live in your house, make sure they're doing something around that house so that they can earn their keep. I think schools need to bring
Yep.
back in-school detention. Quit sending these kids home. Parents, they may be in a one-parent home where the parent got to work all day to pay the bills.
Oh
You kick them
man.
out of school, now they at home. That's cutting into the mom or the dad's income because now they got to take out work to
Yep.
go home and be with their kid. Do some in-school detention, y'all. That.
Detention. They
Make them wash the walls. Whatever.
the first thing the first thing they do is call the parent. And you know what the parents say? I'm at work.
What?
I can't come pick them up right
Yep.
now. Y'all, y'all
Trust me,
need to
I've
do
got them
something.
off
Y'all need to just take them down to the office or something like that. You're right. We need to have a detention where they go and they sit in there
and do
with
nothing
their
but work.
desk turned to the wall and
Or
do
make them
some
wash the
extra work.
walls. Make them wash the walls,
Wash
sweep
the
the floors,
walls.
clean off the desk, wipe down the desk. I mean, my
Yep.
grandbabies like to draw on stuff. I was like, make them get some cleaning supplies, clean it up.
Yep.
Give them some
All of that.
structure in their life. Because then again, here we are. Back to the brat of the bunch. Back to the unappreciated spoiled child. You doing all these things. I'm talking about the schools now. Y'all calling the parents while they at work. I got plenty of phone calls recently from my grandbaby.
Yes.
Call him. I'm at work.
They call.
Okay. My thing is this: if you are a teacher or a principal or a hall guard liaison, whatever you are, you got kids too, and your kids, but maybe you don't, but you know about kids in school. If kids are in school, they need to be in school.
They need to be in school, not at home, because they're gonna send them home, and the mama is gone to the grocery store. They back on their computer. They playing their game. So what punishment have they gotten? They want to go home.
Yep, give them
So
homework
and
after
and
homework after
and
homework.
I'm a
No, they don't even give homework anymore to kids.
no, but I'm gonna tell you something else that the school took out. Home economics. where you used
Yes,
to learn how to sew, how to
cook,
put together stuff, nail, what was that,
wood shop,
wood
wood
shop or
shop.
something like that. Yeah, wood shop, where you
Mhm.
learn how to make frames for windows and a jewelry box, and you learn how
Mhm.
to make stuff like that.
And
They took,
isn't the Michigan lottery having all these funds that they
yeah,
give to schools?
but where is that at?
So,
Why
and
did
why
they
are
have
these
to
kids?
take all of that?
Yeah, they taking
Where is that
out
money
the books out
going?
the classrooms. You got teachers that, and I'm sorry, teachers. I don't know. Maybe all of you are not like this, but I've run across some teachers that just don't care. They just there for a
Me
paycheck,
too.
and that is so wrong, so wrong. Because how would you feel if your kid was in a class and the teacher did nothing but look on their phone all day,
Yep,
didn't teach or
yep,
instruct or anything? That's sad.
yep,
Shame
yep.
on you all of the, if
And
any of you out there
my
listening to me
kids
like
used to
that, shame on you.
my kids used to love me. They call me Miss Winfrey. She don't play. I didn't play, but I didn't play. I did not play, but I make them laugh and I gave them hope. I encouraged them and let them know you can do this. Do
Yeah,
not tell me no. You sit there and you can do this. And if you do this, you don't have to worry about no homework. Okay,
yeah.
Miss Winfrey. So I gave them incentives. You have to boost the morale of these kids by giving them incentive, giving them hope, letting them think that stop doubting themselves, because a lot of students doubt themselves, because they're not getting encouraged at home, or at home the parents are so mad they calling their kids you stupid, or you know I had some kids to my mom and they call me, she said I'm dumb. Yeah, you're not dumb. You're not
And
dumb, you
remember
can
that
do
movie, The
this.
Help.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know, it took a black woman to tell that to a white child, a Caucasian or African American, to a Caucasian little baby. But that baby respected that woman because she showed her love and
Hmm.
she encouraged her to be better than what she was. But her mama
Hmm.
didn't. Her mama just told her to get in there, do this, go to bed, this, that. Didn't give that baby no love or no respect. And I'm saying that it's in general as adults to children. That's all they want to do is be loved. They look at us. We are we are the blueprint for them to be the better selves, be their better selves. Because if they see you
Absolutely.
being a mess all day long, they
They're
gonna be
gonna
a
be a
mess when you
mess.
grow up.
Because like you
They see
said,
you drinking and drugging all day long,
that's what they're gonna want to do. Because
you
they
know,
sponges.
they're
They
sponges.
observe everything that we do.
Yep,
Everything. So I,
everything.
I just
And
hope,
I'm so I'm so against just giving your kid a computer and sit them down.
yeah,
You know, every once in a while it's okay, let them play their games. I had to tell my grandbabies, y'all turn that off. Come watch a movie with me. You don't want to watch a movie? Let's play a board game. Let's
something.
do something. Turn that game off. Get off that phone. You know,
Yep. Yep.
man.
Absolutely.
Heck,
But it's not, parents, they so busy struggling now and trying to figure out and stressing till it's hard to find that one-on-one time at home with the kids,
it
especially when
is.
they get off of work. They tired, they gotta cook, and then the kids is tired. I
Especially a
was
single
there.
family home, a single parent home.
Yep. It's
That's
yep.
tough. That's tough.
Yep.
And look,
Especially
okay, I got something to end us out with too on that with the single family
okay.
home. So if you in a single family home, say two, because you and I both have two children, so I'm gonna use two.
Mhm.
And we come home from work, and only one of those one child has done what we wanted them to do: clean, straighten up stuff, get things together, maybe old enough to cook. I don't know. So do we consider that the brat of the bunch as well? Do we spoil them a little more because they did what we asked them to do, or they're
Well,
willing to help us out more?
well, actually,
What what,
it's
what do we call
actually
that?
it's the opposite.
Opposite?
It's the total opposite, because I look
Okay.
at that as my strongest child of the bunch. So if
Okay.
I
Okay.
recognize you as the strongest one, I don't really have to spoil you like that, because I'm looking at you like you my strong. Because my oldest daughter was my strong child, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't never look at her as though she can handle it. She can do this. She can do that, and I knew if I died that day, I knew that one there was going to be able to survive. Totally
That's
the
our daughter.
opposite. My baby girl, not so much. I'm a worry.
Okay.
Even though she
Okay.
getting there, it's more baby steps for her, and she's getting there, but not as quick as the oldest one. But she's
Okay.
getting there. But I
Okay.
feel more better now with her than I ever did before. But
I'm
it
like that
was
with
it
my
was
son.
yep. So you see what I'm saying?
Exactly. It,
Absolutely.
it, it makes a lot of sense. It makes
Hmm.
100% sense.
You
Because
look at
I
them,
did.
the
I
strong,
spoiled.
stronger one,
I think I spoiled my son a little more than I did with my daughter because she was, like you said, she was a
the
strong
stronger
one.
one.
Get out there, she make it happen. She earn her money. This child was working 4 or 5 jobs at one time
See?
throughout the week, 4 or 5
Yep.
jobs.
Yeah, I did
And
it.
then
Hmm.
I have my son who may only have one job or no job.
And that's
He
the way you
recently got.
spoil.
That's what I'm talking about. We making a lot of sense. See, this conversation is not only for the public, but it is healthy for me because I am able to see that there's other people out in the
Recognize.
world that's like that and recognize it and acknowledge it. And I'm going to say,
Mhm.
out of the mud, thank you guys. James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, Georgia Grundy the second, and Larry Lott. Man, y'all tune in to Out of the Mud. Out of the Mud is moving forward with some bigger and better things. We got James Mayfield got a nice show coming up in regards to about marketing and money and the name of it again, Stephanie. You had sent it to me earlier.
Yep.
Not
It
navigation
aired it aired
with
earlier.
Professor Z. Professor Z.
Yep. And that's and I
Huh?
think he's gonna have that on Sundays. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it's coming up later today. But yeah, so man, get with it out of the mud, okay, y'all. I think today's topic was worth well talking about. I learned something about myself today. Stephanie made me cry a little bit, touched my heart. She
Oh,
poured.
that's
Thank you.
okay.
I love you for that. I love you for that. Because
And
every
I
once in
try
a
to
while,
pour
sometimes
into
we need
so
that.
many people. Yeah.
You
And
told
that's
me
what
this,
I
and now
do.
I see.
Yeah.
I
See what
see,
I'm
and I
saying?
appreciate it. I appreciate it. And and
Yeah.
and, and I got
And
so much
I pour into people.
love and respect for you too. So you just don't know. To me, you are
Thank
a
you.
great statue of woman in my life that I have met, and I'm proud to know you. Just so you know that. Just so
Oh,
you know
thank
that.
you so much.
You're very,
Thank
very,
you so
very, very
much.
good person. Very good person.
Thank you so
Those are the
much.
good things I
And
have
and
ever
and I-
said.
and I-
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think that I was put on this earth for that. That I think that was my calling because that's all I've been doing. So it's okay.
Okay.
That was truly my calling. And I wanted to continue to be my calling because
Oh wow.
I love talking and encouraging and letting people know that it's
Yes,
okay. Our mistakes is okay. What happened to us is okay. We got to embrace it and let it build us up. Yep.
yes, we
And so
do.
everything is
Yes, we
okay.
do.
God
Yes, we
knew
do.
this. Yep.
Man, I'm
But I
telling you.
love the show
So
though.
I do too. I love the title. I love the show. I love the background. Maybe next week
Mhm.
or so we might have the background up behind us. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. It's pretty. I love how you picked that out. That was such a good thing. And then have my daughter get the little
Yeah.
words on there for us. It just worked out so well.
Yep.
Um,
It was beautiful.
I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Um, I was hoping to get somebody to at least get online and hear what you got to say because I know we're not the only ones that's experiencing this in our life, but we're two
Hmm.
of the people out in the world right now that's willing to discuss it and bring out the
Hmm.
untold or unspoken truth about different things in our lives.
Hmm.
So wow, I think somebody's at my door. My dog just started barking. Did y'all hear that? He's just a
I
little
hear
shih tzu. He's just a little shih tzu.
I
He,
hear
he, he ain't about it.
security. I hear security back there.
Security tried to take us out. Well, we got a couple more seconds here. Stephanie, you got something else you want to say before we end our show today?
No, I'm just grateful for having this opportunity to come on these shows every week, not just on Sundays, but on Mondays with all the out of the mud have to offer. And I hope that people are tuning in and sometimes at that hour take time to listen to it because you never know what we talk about. It not only help us, we want to help others too. Because our conversation, she helped
Right.
me and I helped her. Just talking about it.
Exactly. Even not even on air, y'all, just so y'all talk on the phone too. So we come up with bright
Yes.
ideas about things as life as mothers, you know, mothers with 2 children,
Yeah.
and what we're doing and how we're surviving out here. And we're getting it out of the mud, people. We're getting it out of the mud.
Getting it out the mud.
All right.
Yes.
Well, Sassy TS Sundays at 2. This is our 3rd episode. I'm feeling good about it.
Oh, yes. 3rd episode. I'm excited.
So we got more coming. Again, we're gonna try to keep you informed through the week. But once again, appreciate you all for tuning in. Stephanie, you've been wonderful.
Oh,
Thanks
thank
for the
you.
information that you brought to provide to the show. That was
No
really
problem.
good.
I love you.
All
I
right.
love y'all.
Love
I
you
love
too.
everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
We
And
love
thank you,
y'all out
James.
there. Thank you,
we
James. All right. Tune in next week.
we
Tune in
out.
next week, y'all. 2 o'clock.